He walked beside the water in the morning and saw them mending nets along the shore. He did not send a letter or announcement. He simply stopped and said, "Come follow, there is more." They left their nets immediately. They did not ask for details or a plan. They only heard the weight inside that one word: "Come and follow me and be more than you began." Come and follow me is not a request. Come and follow me is a new direction. Come and follow me is the reordering of everything you built for your protection. Come and follow me. Leave the nets behind upon the shore. Come and follow me. You were always made for something more. The life you built was good, but there is greater. The road ahead is longer than you know. Come and follow me, and I will show you where the deepest waters go. Matthew sat inside his tax collection, surrounded by the ledgers of his days. And the one word "come" dismantled every column and rearranged the meaning of his ways. He did not call the perfect or the ready. He called the ones who knew they needed change. Come and follow me was never for the righteous. It was spoken to the broken and the strange. Come and follow me does not require credentials. Come and follow me just needs a willing heart. Come and follow me is the great dismantling of every reason you said you could not start. Come and follow me is still resounding over every shore when nets are being laid. It is the call that finds you in your Tuesday and invites you to be gloriously unafraid. So I rise and believe. So I rise and She came alone at noon to draw the water, the hour when the others stayed away. She had learned to live inside the margins and to move through life without too much to say. A Jewish man was sitting at the well there, and he asked her for a drink against the law. She said, "How is it you would ask this of me?" And he answered with the thing she never saw. Living water is not found inside the well shaft. Living water is not drawn by rope and pill. Living water is the gift he came to offer. Living water is the one thing that will not fail. Living water, whoever drinks will never thirst again. Living water, flowing from the source that has no end. It springs up from the inside to the eternal. It fills the places drought has left behind. Living water is the only drink that satisfies the mind. Sir, give me this water so I need not come back to this well beneath the sun. She asked without yet knowing what she asked for, but she knew she was tired of the running. He told her everything she ever carried, every chapter she had hoped to hide. And she said, "I see that you are a prophet," but he was so much more than she had tried. Living water knows the thirst before the asking. Living water finds you where you truly are. Living water does not need your history perfected. It simply meets you at the well, however far. She left her water jar beside the well there and ran back to the city with the word, "Come and see the man who told me everything." The most unlikely voice the city heard. "I have carried jars to wells that left me empty. I have drawn from every source that promised rest, but living water found me in my own time. In the hour I had given up the quest. God is spirit, and his worshippers must worship, not in mountains and not in temple stone, and in spirit and in truth. The hour is coming when the living water leads the thirsty home. She came alone at noon to draw the hillside, and I drink from what no season can dry out. Living water is not just a Sunday portion, it is the river running through my every doubt. Living water, I will never have to thirst again. Living water. that Jesus gave to set me free. They had fished all night and caught nothing. The water dark and the nets coming up bare. Then a voice called from the shoreline at the dawning, "Do you have any fish?" And they did not know who was there. Cast the net on the other side, he told them, and the weight of what they caught bent the boat. And the one whom Jesus loved said, "It is the Lord now." And Peter jumped before the words could float. Morning at the Sea of Galilee is where the risen Lord prepared a fire. Morning at the Sea of Galilee is where he met them in their tired. Morning at the Sea of Galilee, come and have your breakfast, he said low. Morning at the Sea of Galilee, where the resurrected came to let them know that the hands that broke the bread were still familiar, that the voice that called the fish was still the same. Morning at the Sea of Galilee is where restoration quietly came. There was a charcoal fire already burning, with bread and fish laid ready on the flame. He did not wait for them to bring the breakfast he had already prepared before they came. Now the Vidisag was there to ask him. They knew that it was him beside the sea. The morning held the weight of something tender, too sacred and too close for a question to be free. Morning at the Sea of Galilee is where the broken thing became restored. Morning at the Sea of Galilee is where Peter heard his name from the Lord. So I returned to my own sea each morning, to the water where the night has left me bare. And I hear the voice that calls from the shoreline, "Come and have your breakfast, I am already there." Morning at the Sea of Galilee, I hear him at the shoreline of my day. Morning at the Sea of Galilee, the risen Lord has never gone away. voice that calls my name is still the same. Morning at the Sea of Galilee is where he meets me and restores me once again. The waves were breaking over the edges. The wind was loud against the sail. The disciples woke him from his sleeping with the fear that they were going to fail. Do you not care that we are dying? They cried above the roaring of the sea. Then he rose up from where he had been resting with the quiet of a man who held the key. Peace, be still is not a whisper. Peace, be still is the word that moves the deep. Peace, be still is not a wish upon the water. It is the voice that put the storm to sleep. Peace, be still, and the wind obeyed before it understood. Peace, be still, and the waves laid down because they could. The same voice that spoke the seas into existence spoke into the storm, and it was done. Peace, be still is the authority of the Holy One. Why are you afraid? He asked them gently, after the silence had replaced the roar. Where is your faith? He said, not in accusation, but in the love that always asked for more. They looked at one another in the stillness and said, what manner of man is this one here, that even wind and sea bow down before him and obey the voice that cast away their fear? Peace, be still is still being spoken over every storm I carry in my chest. Peace, be still is the word above my panic. Peace, be still is the invitation into rest. Inside the vessel, certain that the water would prevail. I have shaken him awake with desperation, convinced that I was past the point of sail. But he has never once been sleeping through my storm. He has always known the depth of what I face. Peace, be still was spoken before my panic. It was already echoing in the waves. There is an authority inside a stillness that the chaos has no language to contest. He does not fight the storm with greater fury. He simply speaks, and the storm confesses. not just what he told the tempest, it is what he speaks into me when the hard days pass. Peace, be still. I hear him rising in my storm today. Peace, be still. The same voice has not gone away. The one who spoke creation into order speaks into the chaos of my fear. Peace, be still. 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 They had followed him across the water, 5,000 hungry on an open hill. He looked upon them not with calculation, but with a love that moved before the will. 5 loaves and 2 small fish were all they offered. A boy's lunch held up to the sky, and what was not enough for one at table became the feast that no one could deny. The bread of life does not run out of giving. The bread of life is broken and increased. The bread of life is not for those who earned it. It is laid out for the hungry and the least. The bread of life. I am the bread, he said to those who came. The bread of life. Whoever eats will never hunger again. Not the bread that fed them in the desert, not the manna that could only last a day. The bread of life is the one who never crumbles and never fades away. They came back looking for another miracle, another meal to fill the empty hand. But he said, you are seeking bread that perishes. Come and eat the bread that lets you stand. I am the bread of life, he told them plainly. The one who comes to me will not go hungry. The one who believes in me will never thirst again. This is not a table set for the unworthy. The bread of life metaphor for distance. The bread of life came down and walked among us. The bread of life was broken on a Friday, so that every hungry soul could come and trust us. So I'd come with empty hands before this table. I come with nothing worthy of this bread. The bread of life has set a place beside him, and calls my name and breaks for me his bread. The bread of life, I am the bread, he said, and so I come. The bread of life, for every hungry, weary, searching one. Not the bread that only fed them for a morning, not the kind that crumbled in the hand. So I come with empty hands before this table. I come with nothing worthy of this bread. The bread of life has set a place beside him, and calls my name and breaks for me his bread. The bread of life, I am the bread, he said, and so I come, the bread of life. She came before the sun had fully risen, with the spices and the sorrow in her hands. She came to tend the body of her teacher, not prepared for what the morning had in plans. The stone was moved before she reached the garden. The tomb was open to the breaking day, and the grave clothes lay in perfect quiet order, as if death itself had simply stepped away. The empty tomb is not a mystery unsolved. The empty tomb is the answer to the cross. The empty tomb is where the math of heaven subtracted death and overcame the loss. The empty tomb, the stone was rolled and morning filled the dark. The empty tomb, the death that thought it had the final mark, was swallowed up in something it could not contain, was overcome by life it could not hold. The empty tomb is the greatest story ever to be told. Mary stood outside and wept, not knowing that the gardener was the one she came to find. He spoke her name and everything was different. One word from his mouth rearranged her mind. He is not here, for he has risen. The angel angel said to those who came in fear, the empty tomb is not a cause for mourning. It is the proof that everything he said was clear. The empty tomb rewrites the end of every story. The empty tomb means death does not have the last word. The empty tomb is where despair was interrupted by the most surprising sound the morning ever heard. I have sat inside my own sealed tombs of grieving, and the Saturdays between the cross and dawn. I have held the spices and my disappointment, and walked toward what I thought was fully gone. But the empty tomb keeps finding me in darkness, keeps rolling back the stones I could not move. The empty tomb is not just ancient history, it is the living word I cannot help but prove. Because he lives, the tomb cannot contain me. Because he rose, the ground beneath me holds. The empty tomb has made a way through every Friday of my life into a Sunday of new gold. So I come with empty hands to the empty tomb, and I find that empty is where life begins. The empty tomb received what death had taken, and returned it as a thing that never ends. The empty tomb, the stone was rolled, and I will not be afraid. The empty tomb, the Christ of every sin has been fully paid. Death was swallowed up in life, it could not carry, overcome by love, it could not hold. The empty tomb is where my brand new story was because he tomb, because he empty tomb. She came before the sun. does not drive the sheep before him. He walks ahead and calls them all by name. Each one knows the sound that's always found them, and they follow because the voice is never the same. The stranger's voice will make them scatter. They will not follow what they do not know. But the good shepherd calls and they come running, for his voice is the only one that tells them where to go. The good shepherd lays his life down freely. The good shepherd is not hired for the wage. The good shepherd stays when wolves are coming. He does not flee and leave them to the rage. The good shepherd knows my name before I speak it. The good shepherd finds me every time I lose it. I have wandered into pastures that were barren. I have followed voices that were never his. The good shepherd always finds me where the wilderness is. I am the good shepherd, he said clearly, the one who enters through the only gate. I have come that they may have life abundantly, not a life of scraping, not a life of weight. He knows his own way, a father knows them, not from distance, but from long familiar days. The good shepherd knows the ones who wander. He knows the ones who struggle with their ways. The good shepherd leaves the 99 behind him. The good shepherd counts what others overlook. The good shepherd is the door and the defender, the one who guards the young and tends the old. So I listen for the voice that knows me above the noise of every other sound. The good shepherd has been always calling, and in his voice alone I have been found. The good shepherd knows my name and will not lose me. The good shepherd paid the price that love chose freely. I will follow through the valley and the shadow. I will follow where the pastures lead to peace. The good shepherd is the one in whom all wandering will cease. does not drive the sheep before him. He 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 does not drive the sheep. He does not drive the sheep before him. 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 I was walking in a darkness I had learned to call my own. I had memorized the shadows and I thought I walked alone. Then a voice broke through the silence, like the sun breaks through the gray. I am the light of the world, he told me. Follow me and do not lose your way. The light of the world is not a concept. The light of the world has a name. The light of the world came down among us, and nothing after that was ever the same. The light of the world is shining on the road I could not find. The light of the world is breaking through the dark I left behind. Whoever follows will not walk in darkness. Whoever follows will be given life. The light of the world is the end of every shadowless disguise. I have seen the dawn arrive in winter, when the night had seemed too long to bear, and the light did not apologize for coming. It simply filled the cold and weeding air. There are those who love the dark for cover. There are those who fear what light reveals. But the light of the world is not a judgment. It is the mercy that the broken heart most feels. The light of the world is not a distant burning. The light of the world is near enough to hold. The light of the world walks beside the weary and turns their untold stories into gold. He does not flicker in the wind of seasons. He does not fade when storms obscure the sky. The light of the world burns without diminish and illuminates the reasons I was alive. trusted lights that left me in the cold. But there is one light that has never left its burning, and it is older than the oldest story told. I no longer need to fear the darkness, for the darkness cannot overcome the flame. The light shines in it, and the dark cannot hold it. Every shadow has to flee before his name. The light of the world is my direction when the road ahead is hard to see. He does not show me every step before me. He simply says, "Come walk this road with me." That has no need of sunlight, for the Lamb himself has become its light. Every nation walks within its radiance, and there is no more shadow, no more night. The light of the has broken through the dark I left behind. Whoever follows will not walk in darkness. Whoever follows will be given light. The light of the world is Jesus, and he fills me with his light. There is a door that has been standing open since before the morning knew my name. It was not opened by my good behavior. It was opened by a love that always came. I have stood outside in all my hesitation, convinced the threshold was not mine to cross. I have listed all my reasons for remaining in the cold and in the dark and in the loss. The open door is not a door for the deserving. The open door was never locked to start. The open door is the eternal welcome of of a love that specializes in a broken heart. The open door, behold, I stand and knock, he said to me. The open door, if anyone will hear my voice and see, I will come in and I will eat beside them. I will stay and I will make my home within. The open door is the grace that lets the wonder begin again. I am the door, he said to those who listened. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will go in and out and find a pasture where the soul was never meant to be enslaved. There are many doors that promise entry into rooms that leave you less than when you came. But the open door of grace needs no returning. It receives you and it never looks the same. The open door is not a seasonal offering. The open door does not close at the end of day. The open door is the patience of a father who keeps standing in the threshold, come what may. So I walk toward what has always been before me, the door that was not waiting to be earned. The open door has held its frame through every season, and it opens every single time I turn. The open door, behold, he stands and knocks and calls my name. The open door, a grace that never tires of the game. He comes in and he sits beside me at my table. He stays and he makes his home within. The open door is where I learned that I could start again. He left them by the water and climbed where no one followed him that night. He needed no audience for worship, just the darkness and his Father and the light. There are prayers that need a mountain, prayers too deep for any room inside. Prayers that only open in the silence, when there is no place left to run and hide. The quiet mountain prayer is not performance. The quiet mountain prayer has no crowd. The quiet mountain prayer is the surrender of everything too holy to say loud. The quiet mountain prayer is just a soul and its Father alone. The quiet mountain prayer is finding your way back home. No words rehearsed, no offering prepared, just the aching and the open and the still. The quiet mountain prayer is the highest form of every human will. I have prayed in rooms with many voices. I have prayed with words I thought sounded right, but nothing touched the quiet mountain prayer of one honest soul surrendered in the night. He prayed until the dawn came, finding him there. He prayed through every question and each wait. The quiet mountain prayer is not a moment. It is a life that learns to consecrate. The quiet mountain prayer does not need language. The quiet mountain prayer knows how to grow. The quiet mountain prayer always arrives there at the place of the surrendered will. I have climbed my own mountains in the evening, when the noise of all my days had worn me down. And in the silence I have found what he found, that the Father meets you there without a sound. There is a place above the crowd and clamor, where the soul was always meant to breathe. The quiet mountain prayer is the returning to the intimacy we were made to need. The quiet mountain prayer is my inheritance, the access that was bought just a soar, the quiet mountain prayer. Two were walking from Jerusalem that evening, carrying the weight of everything they lost. They had hope that he would be the one to free them, and the cross had told them what that hoping cost. The stranger feeling stepped beside them gently, and he asked them what they talked about with such grief. They stood still and looked at him with sorrow, saying, "Are you the only one without belief?" The road to Emmaus is the road of the not knowing. The road to Emmaus is the walking through the lost. The road to Emmaus is where Jesus meets the grieving, who have not yet understood the other side of the cross. The road to Emmaus, he walked beside them and they did not see. The road to Emmaus, he opened up the scripture carefully, beginning with Moses. Through the prophets he explained it, every word that pointed to the things he came to be. The road to Emmaus is where he walks beside the ones like me. Did not our hearts burn while he was talking? They would say to one another afterward. The road was long, but something in the telling lit a fire that neither one took disregard. They urged him, "Stay with us till evening, for the day is merely over and the night is near." And he came in and sat and broke the bread among them, and their eyes were open. Then he disappeared. The road to Emmaus is the gradual revealing. The road to Emmaus is the slow and certain light. The road to Emmaus is the stranger becoming savior, somewhere between the walking and the night. I have walked my own Emmaus in the grieving, in the days when hope had packed its bags and gone, and a voice began explaining through the silence every reason I was still supposed to carry on. I did not know at first who walked beside me. I only knew the burning in my chest. The road to Emmaus always starts in sorrow and ends with broken bread and sudden rest. He is known in the breaking of a bread still, in the ordinary table and the cup. The road to Emmaus leads to every kitchen where he sits with us and lifts walk the roads that have no clear destination, with a grief that I have not yet understood. And I trust the one who falls in step beside me to explain the things I thought could come to no good. The road to Emmaus, he walks beside me, and I may not see the road to Emmaus. He opens up the scripture carefully, and somewhere in the walking and the telling, my heart begins to burn with what is true. The road to Emmaus always ends with me recognizing you. The wind was loud against the water. The boat was far from any shore. The disciples pulled against the current, and the night had what the day could not restore. Then they saw him on the surface, walking where no walking should have been. And the fear that rose before the wonder was the loudest thing that any of them had seen. Walking on the water isn't a magic. Walking on the water is a call. It is the voice that speaks above the storm wind, saying, do not be afraid at all. Walking on the water, Peter stepped out of the boat. Walking on the water, faith is all that kept him afloat. But when he saw the wind, he started sinking. When his eyes moved from the face to the storm. Walking on the water only holds when you keep looking at the Lord. Lord, if it is you, then call me, Peter said into the darkened spray. And the one word come was all the permission that he needed to step out and walk that day. There is a moment between the boat and the water, where the old life and the new life almost meet. It is the step that no one else can take for you, the surrender underneath your feet. Walking on the water is not comfort. Walking on the water is the edge. It is the place where all your self-sufficiency dissolves into a trembling, honest pledge. Walking on the water, When they climb back the boat together. The wind laid down and everything grew still, and the ones who watched fell down in worship, saying, truly you are Lord of every ill. Walking on the water, I will step out of the boat. Walking on the water, your voice is all I need to float. And when I feel the wind and start to waver, when my eyes move from your face to the storm, walking on the water means crying out and trusting in your arms. The wind was loud against the water. 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 The wind was loud against the water.